Hello. Good morning. Or, well, it's still morning, so almost 11:30 on the 16th here of May, and we are drawing for fun. We are sketching for fun. Um, I think yesterday I told you about a sketchbook that I have, and I just wanted to let you know again that if you are interested in it, I will put a link at the bottom in the description box about what the book looks like on the inside. I have a blog spot, and I will put the link to that in my description box. And then if you want to see um, what the book looks like, it'll show you. It's one of the I think it's like the first page of my blog, and there's also some other artwork there if you want to see some of my other artwork. So, all right. Well, hey, let's see what we do today. Here we go. All right. Ah, scribble. Scribble. What are we getting out of this? Well, let's see. Maybe we can turn it in another direction. That's a real good thing to do. You can turn a scribble another way. And you can also play with it too. Like you can stretch it out or squash it. That's interesting. All right, well, let's see. That inspired a head. So let's see, somebody with some glasses. Interesting. All right. Obviously, a cool individual or somebody cool. I don't know. Give him a big chin here. What do you say there? All right. Let's see. Interesting. He's got that Jim Morrison here. There's like a lot of it. Interesting. Wow. you see, you see how just starting with a scribble and it's like suddenly you end up with something you because this is why I never can tell what I'm gonna draw when I start because it could just go any way. So there isn't any there's no rhyme or reason to anything. It's just well, let's see. He's holding something. Well, maybe he's holding a pencil or a brush or yeah, maybe he's pulling a brush. Yeah, maybe he's a painter. Like that. His little finger out like that, maybe. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Well, yeah. So like maybe he's hmm. Maybe he's an artist like me. He's got a palette here in his hand here, right? And he's painting. That's his canvas over here, right? Hmm. Well, what do you know? See, I once again I could not have even imagined that that would have been what I was going to draw. Yeah, that's what I love about being an artist. It's like, and it's because I don't always know, but it's also fun because um, this is why it's so important for you to um, learn anatomy and learn how to create stuff or get the basics of drawing because see to fish around in your head and find stuff that you want to draw or create stuff you have to then already know some things about drawing and about structure and the construction and stuff like that line and how you put the line down you need to know certain things see that way then you can invent Invention really only kind of comes as a result of what you already know. It's pretty hard to invent when you don't have the basic skills. You know, the basic skills are what give you what you need to be able to invent. You know, because the invention, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to free your mind up so that whatever you come up with is coming purely from the banks of your memory, purely from your own imagination. You're not imitating or copying or tracing or any of that. See, this is one of the reasons why it's so important to do that, to learn these basic things, because then you have a bank in your head of information and you don't have to go looking for some reference. And I'm not poo pooing reference, okay? I'm just saying that you develop as an artist based on what's already inside you and how you're able to express what's inside you, express the emotions that you have. You know, great artists in most cases are reflecting the life that they have, the and they're contributing to life because of what they have inside them. They're able to share something or express something because they have a viewpoint, and that viewpoint is uniquely theirs. It's not. Um, it's colored by life, but it's colored primarily by what's in your head and what's in your mind and what's in your heart. You know, when you hear a great musician, the musician knows basic music. He knows how to read music. He understands chords. He understands certain sounds. He learns basics about music. Why? So that he can express himself or herself musically. So he has to know those basics, right? He has to know how to read music. He has to know how to write music. Why? So that he can express himself, right? Well, the artist, the visual artist, is no different. The visual artist needs to be able to express himself or herself. So, same thing. So that means that you have to then know some basic things about art, about construction, about anatomy, you know. And it's when you know those things and you have them securely figured out that you can then draw and create unhampered. You know, you don't have to rely on somebody else's reference. You don't have to go and look for somebody else's reference so that you can draw, you know, a character in a certain pose. You can just make it up. You can just invent it because your imagination is just as valid as somebody else. I mean, some artists are completely dependent on what other artists do. You know, they'll go, oh well, I can go and I can steal from this or I can steal from that or whatever. Okay, well, so in other words, AI can do the same thing you can do. Like how, but you know, the AI, of course, can steal anything and everything. And of course, I'm sure that probably they're gonna try to find ways to regulate that as much as they can. But the reality of the situation is that when you see someone who is actually a real true artist, they're not having to rely on somebody else giving them some reference or something in order for them to create an image. They're just creating something, and they're creating it out of their heart and out of their desire, and you know, they have some passion behind what they're doing, and it comes out. And that's what you want to do. You know, you have the same need and desire that any other artist has. You want to be able to create, and you want to be able to put what you put down and have it be centered and strong, and you know, So in order to do that, you need to know basics. And the more you have your basics down, the more solid you are as an artist, the more sure you can be about what you create. You don't have to worry or wonder if, oh gee, I wonder if I want a picture of this of a person standing in a on a mountaintop or whatever. Let me see what reference can I go steal because I can't imagine it myself. And I don't know. I got to think that that's kind of limiting, isn't it? Because you're pretty much then at the mercy of somebody else, giving you something because you don't have it already. Whereas if you were to get the information about what mountains look like and what people look like, and and you could just draw them yourself, and you didn't need to go finding reference anywhere and everywhere, then you could make up your own characters. You know, then you would be self-reliant. You wouldn't need to have to go, and find something that's like what you want. You could create something purely yourself. That's more fun. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot more fun. But like I said, it requires that you do have to do the work and learn how to create. But you need to get those basics. And that's why I talk about life drawing and drawing classes and design classes and all of this stuff is stuff that's going to help you to be a better artist, a stronger artist, and not be relying upon reference or stealing from other artists or any of that stuff. You need to have the freedom to pull things out of your own mind. Get something out of your own head and put that down on paper. It's like that. That's the real stuff. I would think you'd want to do. I know it's the real stuff I like doing. I don't like having to rely on reference really. I do sometimes, but I don't like having to rely on it. I don't want to have to. I don't want to be in a situation where I just absolutely have to copy something because I just can't think of it. I go first at trying to find out what do I actually know about the what I'm trying to draw. And if I can kind of wrap my head around what it is, or then I start digging in my head and go, well, I've seen that before. I've seen this particular thing before, this particular thing before. And that then sort of forces me in a position where I have to kind of go back in my memory and go like, yeah, wait a minute, that's right. I have seen that before. Oh yeah, I do know something about that. Yeah, all right. I think that's more fun, because then you sort of end up with something that's not formulaic. You end up with something that's kind of different from what the norm would be. And I would think you'd kind of want to do that. You'd kind of want to have something that was unique. I would think. Yeah. That's just me. Let's see. All right. Interesting. Let's see. I wonder what else could I do on this. Maybe I could make a background behind that. Well, let me think. Maybe I could put something interesting behind him. Well, I don't know. I think what I'll do is I think I'll just put a blank background behind him. Let's see. Just a color background. Let's see. Yeah, maybe just a. Yeah. Just a color. Let's see. So turn that off. And there we go. Boy, that really pops out at you, doesn't it? It does. Okay. All right. Well, hey, another picture created purely out of nowhere. All right. Well, I hope you all are enjoying these. As much, Chris, you're probably not enjoying them as much as I'm enjoying it. But hey, that's the fun of doing this. So let's see here. Where's my cursor there? Trying to find. Well, okay, there we go. All right. So, hey, have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow. And remember, Jesus is Lord.